Going live. Woo! Notice the onions there. We are going to do us a lentil dish, right? So if you are vegan, and what I'm going to suggest to you that if you follow the ideas behind the Blue Zone and some of the works on some of the longest living people, they eat a lot of whole plants, right? So that is the premise of this show, trying to get you to eat some more plants, maybe crowd out some of the other things that you're eating, finding something that is interesting to you. So today we got a recipe from the Minimalist Baker on their website. And like I would say, I would love to cook with you. You tell me something amazing to cook that is vegetables or plants or fruits or whatever that I can make vegan. You can cook it however you want. And just show me how to do it. We'll test it out here on this kitchen. I would love to do it live with you if you're so inclined, if you're tough enough. Anyway, so I'm just going to read you the ingredients, which are very simple. Right now we've got 4 cups of water starting to boil here. So this hopefully will go fairly quickly today. So in this recipe, you have lentils, 4 cups water, 1.5 cup golden lentils. I think I have a little bit more in here. So I was reading online that you should have, I like to think of things in ratios. When you cook lentils, it's very quick. That's why I like them. I also love the taste of lentils. Now, with lentils, it's usually volume 1 to 2.5 to 3. So 1 volume. So let's say you have a cup of lentils. Then you need 2.5 cups of water or 3 cups of water. They will expand when you cook them. What I've read is most of the lentils cook in about 10 minutes or so. I'll look and see in this recipe what it is for this recipe. So we've got that part. Then the coconut curry sauce. You have 1 tablespoon coconut oil. I'm not using any oil. 1 small shallot diced. That's an onion. It's not a shallot. And it's not a small one. So I may sprinkle some of that on the top when I'm done. I love raw onions. I love cooked onions. I'm going to cook these down in the sauce. 4 cloves garlic. Since I have this here and it needs to get used, we're using this. We're using this. We're using minced garlic, right? So that is 4 cloves garlic. 2 to 3 teaspoons fresh minced ginger. I did this beforehand. That's my minced ginger. Ginger. I like to use a spoon and scrape off all the brown and get most of it off. Rinse it off and then mince it up. There it is. That's ginger. 3/4 teaspoon sea salt. I'm not using salt. 1 heaping tablespoon of curry powder. Spices are life, baby. Curry. 1 teaspoon turmeric. Turmeric. This is the spice of life. This is so good for you. People that have cancer, that is something that I would suggest you put in your diet. We're going to 1/8 teaspoon cayenne pepper. My wife hates pepper, so we're not putting that in there. It says omit if you don't like spice. I love spice. My wife doesn't. 1.5 to 1.5. I'm sorry, 1.25 to 1/2 cup light coconut milk. Well, this ain't light. This is the real deal. This is the whole thing. We're going to use probably that whole can. 1 to 2 tablespoons coconut sugar or maple syrup. 2 tablespoons fresh lemon juice. Right, so I just have a lemon. It was used partially last night by my wife. We're going to use the rest of it today for this. This sounds like maybe we're already coming to a boil. Yes, we are. That is a boil. 4 cups of water coming to a boil already on the stove. I started the stove just before we started here. And just in the amount of time that it took for me to talk, we've got us a boil going on. So I'm going to just read the instructions real quick so I don't screw this up. Soaking lentils is optional, but can improve digestibility and speed cooking time. See notes for tips. Bring water to boil in a large pot or saucepan. Add lentils and bring back to boil. Once boiling, reduce heat to a simmer and cook lentils uncovered for 4 to 5 minutes or until just tender. So we'll set the timer for 4 minutes. That's if I can untie this thing. Woohoo! So green, I think, take a longer cooking time. Yellow, golden or yellow, these are red. So I'm going to go with the 4 minutes that it suggests, but maybe because they're red, it's going to be a little bit different here. Did you see me burn myself the other day when we were cooking? It was an amazing time. The blisters are just now pretty much healed. What was that, 2 weeks ago? Anyway, so we're just going to dump these in here. I have to burn this plastic bag that they're in. We're going to let that come back to a boil. And then we're going to cook that uncovered for 4 minutes. And then we'll look at it. Maybe go 5 minutes there. So now I'm just waiting for this to come to a boil. And that is going to be that, right? We're going to put the timer on for 4 minutes once that happens. And then we'll take those off the heat in 4 minutes. So kitchen timer, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Once that comes to a boil, I'm going to turn it down to a simmer and turn the timer down. Got us a spatula for the other stuff, right? So for the rest of this, what we got is heat a rinse, heat up a pan, would you? We got this pan over here. I should have had that heating up. That way, this could be going right away. We're turning that on 9, letting that get hot. We're going to add a shallot, garlic, and ginger. Once again, I'm using a white onion. It's kind of similar. A shallot kind of to me is a cross between it's a little bit milder than an onion. And what did it say? 1 shallot. So shallots are pretty small. So I'm probably going to be using about half of this, which is a lot more onion than what it's calling for. So I'm going to go ahead and just put about half of this in here. Sounds like it's already. Let's bring these lentils down a little bit to where they are at the simmer. I'm going to put that at a 3. That gives me usually what I consider a simmer. Then we're going to add the shallots. We're going to add the garlic and ginger. I may put a little bit of water in there because I constantly destroy my wife's pan here. So to me, oil is to save your pans. We're going to turn this down to a 5. We're going to add us some garlic. Once again, these aren't fresh garlic cloves. So sometimes I talk about the hierarchy of health, and I think this is less good than a good. This is less better for you, less good for you than a raw garlic clove, right? I'm going to throw some more onion in there. What the heck? We're going to spin this around. Let that kind of cook down. We're going to start putting some spices in there. I'm going to put a tiny bit more water, just a splash, trying to make sure stuff doesn't burn as we go. I'm going to put some black garlic in there also, which is really good for you. That was not called for in the recipe. So in the recipe, we're going to also add salt, which I'm not adding. Curry powder. The curry powder was... How much was the curry powder? Curry powder. I'm trying to read here, but it's not coming up quick. Curry powder. Curry powder. Where are you, curry powder? 1 heaping tablespoon, right? So, let's see if we can get that 1 heaping tablespoon. That's not a heaping tablespoon. Let's see if we can just take this stuff. No, that's not good. That's 1 heaping tablespoon. See how accurate that is? Smells amazing. The next one I think that we've got is going to be some, oh yeah, that is definitely. All right, we're going to let that go just a tiny bit more. We've still got this curry sauce over here with all the stuff to add to the lentils, I believe. We're going to give that just a little bit longer. We're going to have, I think it's a half a teaspoon of the turmeric. No, 1 teaspoon. This one is supposed to be a little less. Turmeric by itself. Baby. Yes, turmeric is amazing for you. Really, really good. What else we got over here? We got us turmeric, cayenne, cooked for a minute more. We're going to put some pepper in that. I love pepper. That's going to be as we're going to go ahead and turn our heat off of our lentils, right? That might need to be strained a little bit. Let's see if we need a splash of water. And we're going to go ahead and turn our timer off because it's bugging the snot out of me. Let's turn this heat back up a little bit. Add the coconut milk and coconut sugar and stir to combine. So we're going to turn that. We're going to let these onions cook down just a little bit more, a little bit higher heat. Then we're going to add this coconut curry into this. And then I think at the end, you just combine everything together. You're going to drain the cooked lentils. Then you're going to coconut sauce and stir. They will likely need more seasoning at this point. Add a bit more salt, curry powder, turmeric, cayenne, and coconut sugar because I like big flavor. But season to taste. Turn off the heat. Add lemon juice and stir. And then serve and enjoy. Right? So I think this stuff needs to cook a little bit more here. Let's go ahead and try it. Let's just pour in our coconut milk. And we'll cook that over low heat for about 3 more minutes. Then we're going to add all that together to our lentils after we drain off our water. I'm going to go ahead and try to drain off the water here in the background without, let's see, do I have a colander or something? All right, colander, there it is. Some lentils ready to go for you. We're going to let this cook for a couple more minutes here. Let's stir this a little bit. Kind of a traditional curry, right? Curry powder is usually turmeric and some other spices. I don't know exactly what they use. This definitely has more turmeric. So it's very yellow. There's green curry. That's more Thai thing, I believe. I'm going to turn this up a little bit. Keep it cooking, keep it cooking. full steam, right? I'm going to bring that nearly to a steam. Once it gets to a steam, to a rolling, I'm going to get that to where it is just a little bit more than less than a boil. So I'm going to go ahead and plate this later on. I'll show you on Facebook, YouTube. Maybe we'll make a video or show you a very short on what it looks like after it's done. Thanks for hanging with us. This one is a shorter one than usual because this dish takes a lot less time. Lentils cook very quickly. They are amazing, especially if you're vegan. It is your protein source. Beans and lentils, right? So a lot of people talk about the lectins, but lectins really, if you cook them in a lot of water, go away, right? So you're not going to get many lectins with beans and lentils if you cook them for long enough in water, right? So that's how you're supposed to cook beans and lentils. So anyway, you guys have an amazing Saturday. It was great cooking with you, and I would love to cook with somebody live, especially if they have an amazing recipe that I can make vegan together. All right, guys, you have an amazing Saturday. We'll see you next Saturday, and reach out to me if you would love to cook with me. Have a great day. Talk soon. Bye.